subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss out from in-depth coverage of education, business insights, or the latest in sports. We bring you the stories that matters the most and news that shapes our nation. GMEB TV, bringing the Gambia to your screen. Welcome to GMEB TV, your go-to source for exclusive.
Good evening. Hello viewers and welcome to another show here with me, RAMATOULIE JATTA. And today I am joined by our author who is Hariba. So we're gonna allow her to introduce herself to us.
Alright, good morning viewers. I am Hari, a development study major at the University of the Gambia. It's good to be here and I hope you will learn from this interview. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harry, for coming. And I'm sure you've had busy days, but then you still chose to answer to our call. So we are thanking you very much for that.
Thank you too for inviting me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So Harry, you can see viewers, we have our book here with us already. So basically, we're going to ask some questions that we deem it necessary for the audience to know about Harry and her book. That is Whispers from a Wounded Land, the voice of Mother Africa. So any African out there that loves literature would actually want to know more about this book and would also love to hear the answers that will come from Harry today. So Harry, our first question would be, usually it's always the first question for guests, like what inspired you to write the Whispers from a Wounded Land?
Basically what inspired me to write Whispers from a Wounded Land is that I want to communicate my ideas. I want to influence people, that is the people of Africa at large, not only Gambians or people that know me or people that are able to access this book. I want to inspire people via my words. I want to influence people via my ideas. So that is the purpose of writing this book. Yeah.
Thank you so much. You could see she wrote this book in a way of trying to express herself, her ideas about either Africa or let's say Africa as a continent at large. So thank you so much, Harry, for that. And can you share any personal experiences that influenced the theme in your book, Wounded Land?
Alright, regarding personal experiences that influence the theme of this book is, writing, as a writer, you have spirit that influence you to write, that makes it easy for you to write, that is it just clicks and then the ideas come. So in my quest to talk to the African people, I look at the circumstances around. That is why I encapsulate those themes in my book, whereas I have corruption as a theme, I have empowerment and potential as a theme, I have injustice as a theme, I have unity and solidarity as a theme, because of as a development major as well, along some of the courses that I have learned, so it broadened my knowledge and perspective. So that is why, and I look at the circumstances, connect everything. I know that there are loopholes here, and I feel like these are things that I want to communicate to people so that they would learn, and I also want to make people guilty so they hold themselves accountable. I want to talk to our leaders so that it would be easy to avoid corruption. So those are things that really inspire me, and believing that I am blessed out with the wisdom to write, I would use my pen to talk to people, inspire them, and make them feel guilty about things that resonate with them. Yeah.
Wow, that's really good. And that's why they say the pen is mightier than the sword.
Exactly.
Right? Writers often use that word a lot.
Yeah,
exactly.
Phrase.
So, you're studying development at the university, right? So, some of the courses that you learn actually, boost that or ignite that light in you that, what, I have to, come up with this thing because I feel like it resonates with some of the things I'm seeing in my country or Africa as a whole.
Yeah.
So, in your this book, what message do you hope readers to take away from this book?
Okay, the message I hope readers to take away is, I want readers to value education. I want readers to think, because one of my poem titled African Homo sapien, where I am whereas the theme is centered on encouraging people, especially Africans, to think, and then also like to empower like African leaders, to empower the youth, so that we learn, like we develop our human capital, because it is only then we're able to develop to that. And also encouraging unity, youths to unite, and I'm also encouraging people to tap the unhidden potential in them. That is through human capital, to tap the hidden potentials they have as people of Africa, so that that will enhance development. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Harry. So a follow-up question to that.
Yeah.
So talking about youth, let's say prioritizing education, or let's say valuing education. Youths out there, some of them have the talent. They can write. I mean, even though they cannot write, let's say, a whole book, but at least they write poems and all that.
Yeah.
So how do you think they can inculcate that into either they're studying or they're working students? How can they do that in order for them to be able to earn something from that? Because when you author of a book, you obviously have to sell it out to people. So the little that you can get could...
Getting something out of what you do, in the Gambia here, it can be hard, but as I always say, make sure that your passion, your strength surpass the naysayers and your weakness, because it's not easy. To be frank, it's not going to be an easy journey to make something out of what you do, because here people barely support. We have a lot of people that have talent. We would have a lot of Harris out there, but to get to this stage, it will be difficult, because sometimes you see people that are capable of helping you. They're mighty, influencing people by your words, changing people's opinion, you know, exposing injustice and all that. But you barely have support. But you just don't have to give up. Keep the passion, do it for yourself, and then promise yourself, like, no matter what, I will get to this stage. Just set that goal, and by the will of Allah, it's going to be, because personally it took me a long journey. Sometimes you feel like to give up, but you just don't have to give up, because you have to feel like you owe it to the future generation. So yeah, shaping that mindset will help you. So I struggle a lot, but eventually at some point it has come, so it's not going to be easy. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And that will bring us to the challenges, because we know in whatever we do, we often say it here, and almost all of my shows, you can hear me asking about the challenges, because I know it's part and parcel of life. It's part of life. You cannot just, they are inevitable. You have to go through challenges. So but what were some of the challenges you went through, and how were you able to overcome them?
All right. Mostly like the challenge is finance aspect, because getting it published, you need to finance it, to pay the publisher, to pay editors, you know, proofreaders, printing the book, all that, it costs you a lot. So that is a challenge, because as I said, you will see people capable of helping you, they will ignore you. You will reach out to people, they wouldn't even mind to help. So that is a major challenge. So I think aside that, because when it comes to writing, you know, I write due to the circumstances around, and when I have the spirit, that was smooth. But the challenge here, it's financial support. Yeah.
Okay, so financial support. I mean, as they say, it's not everything, but it's part of everything. Exactly. Wherever you find yourself, you might feel like not everything is not about money, or everything is not about finance.
Exactly.
But you tend to realize that it's not everything, but it's needed in everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
just as you asked earlier, how would people make something out of what they do? So to make something out of it, you have to invest. And what you have to invest is money. Getting a book published, getting it reached to wider audience, you need to publish. And publishing, you need to put in cash. And that's always a problem. Yeah.
See, supporting, I mean, if you have people that would actually take care of the financial aspect, I mean, you're done, because it's not everything, as I said, but it's it's part of everything.
Exactly.
So,
it's the main thing here. Yeah.
Okay, so at least people that are authors, I think it's important if they have people out there that would support them, because we have young people here that have talent to write, they can write. In fact, though Gambians don't like reading, but I believe with these people coming up, they are youngsters, they are coming up writing books, I mean, if you love literature or if you're good at that, you would love to read their books. We have many people there that are, I mean, I'm happy that Harry is a lady and then she's doing wonders. Because most of the authors I see. So, yeah, thank you so much. So the next question would be, how do you see the role of youth in addressing the issues that are presented in your book?
Yeah, for me, the role of youth is when you encounter the themes in the book, try to spread them, influence others around you. As I said, if it resonates with you. And I think particularly, if you read this book, I have themes where I am exposing injustice, where I am discouraging corruption, where I am calling for unity and longing for a brighter and equitable future. So I think as youth of Gambia and Africa, these themes, each and every individual, these themes should interest you. Like promoting these themes should interest you if we want to develop as a country and as a nation. And because and in some of my poems, whereas I reference the words of Kofi Awono, who says that so the old days, I am also encouraging people like when it comes to our policies, programs and development, let us make sure that our realities is what matters. Our realities is what is encapsulated in our policies. That is the only way to develop, because development is not a one-size-fits, whereas you just take policies of all the other countries that make it through those policies and programs. So I believe as youths of Africa, reading this book will really be helpful, and they would really help in spreading such message, and at least I think it would resonate with their mentality and mindset if only we are just and are ready to develop.
Okay, I mean, youths out there, listen to her, she's saying something important here. So please, as a youth, or even not as a youth, if you read something, try to, you know, don't just read for the sake of reading, but if it resonates with you, let's say you have this attitude of, you know, not being just or not being fair, but then after reading it, I'm sure you should be able to, you know, try to improve on yourself and try to do things that will better develop the country, because it's not only on one aspect, as she said, it's everywhere, it's not only on one side. So them too, as authors, are trying to make sure that not what the government is not doing, for example, what a journalist might not do, they are also doing that, because they are trying to inculcate it in their work as an author. Exactly. So thank you so much, Harry. But are there any characters or any theme that is in your book that resonates with you as an individual?
As an individual, like things that resonate with me, as I always say, that I'm an aversion to corruption.
Okay.
So, and also, as I said, circumstances around us, those are things that inspire me. We have seen how things are in the Gambia here, mostly like our elders, like they wouldn't, some of them I would say they resonate with me. So I'm like, yeah, I have to put this in my book. So it's just crazy.
So there are certain specific characters or stories in the book that actually resonates with you? Yeah,
for sure.
Okay. Yeah. That's really fun. And I'm sure not only you, probably myself.
Yeah,
probably myself or anyone else out there.
I'm speaking for the youth, exactly. I am speaking for the youth of Africa.
Thank you so much, Harry. So how do you think the literature can impact social change, especially in Africa? Because nowadays I'm seeing even, let's say, primary school kids, some of them like writing poems, even though they did not make that really much sense, but they try to come up with the little that they've learned in English language, they try to come up with, write something, either poems or essays and all that. So but how do you...
Yeah, to me, literature, it can influence social change because just as we said, writing is powerful and then it can reach to wider audience. It's a good tool to use to influence social change because through your ideas as a writer, you can influence people. Through your write-up, you can expose injustice. So through your write-up, you can promote unity and any kind of theme that you want to communicate. So, and people will read that. You know, we have different genres of literature, even drama, you can use that. So you can use poetry, you know, expose the realities that are happening around. People can read it, some would be influenced, although not everybody might be in line with your idea, but at least you would have people that are in line with your idea for sure. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure talking about the influencing, people, I don't know if it's the problem of youths or something, but there are certain times, even if they have to watch a movie, for example, what that movie is trying to tell them or what it's trying to portray, they don't tend to take care of that. All they will say is, well, this is the end of this person. Probably she was doing, or he or she was doing this kind of thing, and then it ends like this. But they don't know that this is not only about you entertaining yourself. Or a book, for example, is not only to read and pass, or let's say, know the context or everything, but to be able to inculcate it in your life, try to know that, okay, this is what Harry came up with in her work. Exactly. And I think if I go by this, what happens at the end will also happen to me if it's a good thing. So I think you don't just go for reading just like that. Don't just say, Harry, I read your book, but yeah, try to...
Exactly, yeah, you know, some literature works, like, they promote culture, and, you know, I mentioned earlier that if we want to develop, we have to make sure that we reconnect with our past, our cultures, you know, they should matter. So that also could be a way. You see some writers that would promote culture and things like that. For instance, like one of our lecturer at the university, Mr. Seng, or like his book, when you encounter with that book, you would see that at least you read, you learn about culture. So, and in my work also, you have that team that also is telling us that we need to reconnect with our past, our culture and all that. So yeah, it can influence.
Okay. So talking about the past or the culture, I mean in the culture or cultural system in the Gambia here, do you have any, I'm sure you must have something that is, or either a character or something in the book that would actually try to resonate with Africans or something.
Yeah, for me, what I encapsulate in my book regarding to culture is, like, I'm just encouraging people, let us not forget our culture, let us make sure, like our realities matter. So that, yeah, that are the things that I capture in my book. Because just as I said earlier, you cannot just copy and paste other people's policies and you think that is going to help you develop. You know, for me, our culture, it also matters. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Our culture really matters. So I think it's high time we try to, because I mean, looking at nowadays, in fact, the Gambia as a whole, you tend to say that though people practice culture, but I don't think, I mean, the Western people have just, you know, just influence everything. Even some people, even at night, they wouldn't, or even if you present chair to them, they're like, nah, this is early morning, what am I going to do with that? So they prefer, you know, this Western cultural thing. So I think it's kind of influencing us as people of the Gambia.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
It's I don't know, but people, I think we should go back to our history, try to know more about what our people were doing before. And some will tell you the reason why some of them live longer is because they were not that influenced by Western people. They tend to do things that they believe. I mean, even medication, for example. People before use herbs and all that, but now us little headache, pharmacy. They're giving you tablets or a bunch of medicines. So sometimes use just herbs, you're okay. So I don't know. Sometimes I think this Western thing, though it's not hindering our success, I would say, but at some point, I think when we go back to history, when we go back to what our people usually do before, we tend to gain even more experience and more productivity in it.
And in that case, like, we promote our own thing. As you're mentioning here, Chere, like, it is healthy, and also, like, if we go back to that, it's like we're promoting people who are dealing with coups, who are selling chere and all that. Exactly,
but the thing is now people don't like farming, agriculture. Most of the time, you look at the men, like, most of the time it's this women you see in the gardens and all that. Though, you might say the men usually go to work in the offices and all that. But I don't think, let's say if it's in the raining season, even if it's just 2 days, but you have, just make something, even if it's in your compound or something, try to harvest something on you, or try to cultivate something. But I don't know, sadly women are more into this thing. And then it's all part of trying to explain in details, like what it was and how people were going by it and what change and impact it has on them. I think it will be very important as authors.
Yeah. When it comes to promoting agriculture, like, it should not be only left in the hands of
the
women. If men engage as well, we can broaden it and we can make something out of it. We can, like, when you look at France, like, they promote their farmers. You would see some restaurants whereas they just use this local grown up food. You know, they're promoting them and that will boost their economy. It will empower them and serve as a source of income. So agriculture is really important if you want to develop as a nation. We don't have to belittle it.
As they say, it's the backbone of any nation. So if we have abundance of it, I mean, we wouldn't even import stuff, so we would just, you know, eat what we have here. So thank you so much, Harry, though that wasn't actually part of the book itself, but I believe some people out there that are watching will actually learn from it. So this will bring us to the final and last question, which will be, what advice would you give to young writers or activists who want to make a difference?
The advice I will give to young writers is, I think the most important advice is, let them not give up. As I said earlier, it's not an easy journey, but you don't have to give up, because you have to think that you're not only doing it for yourself alone, you're doing it for the future generation. When it comes to writing, don't give up, because if we don't write, like, the future generation, what are they going to read? We are able to write only because we read. And we're able to read because there are people that wrote prior to us. So because writing, it's about, like, the ideas that inspire you, the words you come across that inspire you, like your grammar and all that. Then you tend to have your unique thoughts that you want to share. Just don't give up, but also, as I advise you to write, and in your quest to write, don't just write for the sake of writing. Don't just write for the sake of being known, to be popular, to be celebrated. Make sure as you write something that makes sense, that people will take something out of it. We have a lot of people writing though, but my advice is write what makes sense. Write what makes sense and know what you're doing really well. That is what will sell you out. It's not just for the sake of writing. You can write, publish, people will know you, but if it does not make sense, it's not going to go well with you, and it will just be crazy. Like, you're not going to inspire as you wish, but at least if you write what makes sense, it inspires people. That way people you can make something out of it. Yes, exactly. It is what market itself. As I just say, business market itself, not like you just talking blah blah blah, promoting yourself.
Thank you. So those authors outside there, you know, we have people that people that even graduate from high school wants to be authors. I mean, when the books I saw, I'm like, wait, what? So now it's like that. People didn't even, like, who are not even university students or that haven't even graduated from high school wants to become authors. I mean, it's not only about you writing and people know and you have the talent to do it. So basically, don't give up. Try to be consistent, try to know what you're doing, and then love it. Because, I mean, if you don't love what you're doing, obviously you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, but no passion at all. So thank you so much, Hari. But if you have anything to add again about the book, you're welcome.
I would encourage people, like, to attend the launching. It is this Saturday coming at Baobab Hotel. There's nothing like selling tickets, so it's free entrance. You can come in your large numbers and buy the book. It costs $400. We are not selling tickets because we want to encourage people to buy the book, because to me, having a copy, read it and get inspired is more important to me than the profit I will make. Just as I said, I would need money, but also inspiring people. Who knows, like, how many people will become authors after reading this book, because I want us as a country to have a lot more Harris, even better than me. So that is why I encourage everybody to come to Baobab Hotel on the 7th of December. Attend the launching, and don't just attend, make sure you buy a book, even if you can buy more. and then distribute it to youths that would want to read. So also I want a lot of people to know what book launching it's about. That is why we make it a free entrance, because there are people who have never attended book launching, but at least if they do, they would be exposed to know what this is about. They would be motivated. In case we have again somebody who is about to launch a book, at least they will know what it is about. They will be encouraged to go and attend and support that individual, because it's not only about Harry, it's about other people as well who want to get it done.
Your go-to source for exclusive news and stories from the Gambia. Stay informed and stay ahead with our expert analysis. And open your YouTube app, click the search bar and type GMEB TV. Open the channel and click subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss out from in-depth coverage of education, business insights,